Torah portion number 1 is entitled Bereshith, which translates to in the beginning. The Torah portion is taken from Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 through chapter 6 verse 8. The Haftarah is taken from Isaiah chapter 42 verse 5 through 43 verse 10. And the apostolic portion is taken from the book of John chapter 1 verses 1 through 17. Genesis 1. In the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. And the earth came to be, formless and empty, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the Spirit of Elohim was moving on the face of the waters. And Elohim said, "Let light come to be." And light came to be. And Elohim saw the light, that it was good. And Elohim separated the light from the darkness. And Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the first day. And Elohim said, "Let an expanse come to be in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." And Elohim made the expanse, and separated the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were above the expanse. And it came to be so. And Elohim called the expanse heavens. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the second day. And Elohim said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it came to be so. And Elohim called the dry land earth, and the collection of the waters he called seas. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the plant that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth." And it came to be so. And the earth brought forth grass, the plant that yields seed according to its kind, and the tree that yields fruit, whose seed is in itself, according to its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the third day. And Elohim said, "Let lights come to be in the expanse of the heaven, to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and appointed times, and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth." And it came to be so. And Elohim made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. And Elohim set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw that it was good. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the fourth day. And Elohim said, "Let the waters teem with shoals of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth on the face of the expanse of the heavens." And Elohim created great sea creatures, and every living creature that moves, with which the waters teemed, according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim blessed them, saying, "Bear fruit and increase, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth." And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the fifth day. And Elohim said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature according to its kind, livestock and creeping creatures and beasts of the earth according to its kind." And it came to be so. And Elohim made the beast of the earth according to its kind, livestock according to its kind, and all that creep on the earth according to its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them rule over the fish in the sea, and over the birds of the heaven, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over all the creeping creatures that creep on the earth. And Elohim created the man in his image. In the image of Elohim he created him. Male and female he created them. And Elohim blessed them. And Elohim said to them, Bear fruit and increase, and fill the earth and subdue it, and rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over all creatures moving on the earth. And Elohim said, See, I have given you every plant that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it is for food. And to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to every creeping creature on the earth, in which there is life, every green plant is for food. And it came to be so. And Elohim saw all that he had made, and see, it was very good. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the sixth day. Genesis 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed, and all their array. And on the seventh day Elohim completed his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Elohim blessed the seventh day, and set it apart, because on it he rested from all his work which Elohim in creating had made. These are the births of the heavens and the earth when they were created, in the day that Yehovah Elohim made earth and heavens. Now no shrub of the field was yet on the earth, and no plant of the field had yet sprung up, for Yehovah Elohim had not sent rain on the earth, and there was no man to till the ground. But a mist went up from the earth and watered the entire surface of the ground. And Yehovah Elohim formed the man out of dust from the ground, and breathed into his nostrils breath of life, and the man became a living being. And Yehovah Elohim planted a garden in Eden to the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground Yehovah Elohim made every tree grow that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, with the tree of life in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it divided and became 4 river heads. The name of the first is Bashan. It is the one surrounding the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. Bdellium is there, and the Shoham stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. It is the one surrounding the entire land of Cush. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel. It is the one which goes toward the east of Ashur. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. And Yehovah Elohim took the man and put him in the garden of Eden, to work it and to garden. And Yehovah Elohim commanded the man, saying, Eat of every tree of the garden, but do not eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. For in the day that you eat of it, you shall certainly die. And Yehovah Elohim said, It is not good for the man to be alone. I am going to make a helper for him, as his counterpart. And from the ground Yehovah Elohim formed every beast of the field, and every bird of the heavens, and brought them to the man, to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called each living creature, that was its name. So the man gave names to all livestock, and to the birds of the heavens, and to every beast of the field. But for the man there was not found a helper for him, as his counterpart. So Yehovah Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall on the man, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh in its place. And the rib which Yehovah Elohim had taken from the man, he made into a woman, and he brought her to the man. And the man said, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. This one is called woman, because she was taken out of man. For this cause a man shall leave his father and mother, and cleave to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, yet they were not ashamed. Genesis 3. And the serpent was more crafty than any beast of the field which Yehovah Elohim had made. And he said to the woman, Is it true that Elohim has said, Do not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, We are to eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said, Do not eat of it, nor touch it, lest you die. And the serpent said to the woman, You shall certainly not die. For Elohim knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be like Elohim, knowing good and evil. And the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to make one wise. And she took of its fruit and ate. And she also gave to her husband with her, and he ate. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together, and made loin coverings for themselves. And they heard the sound of Yehovah Elohim walking about in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yehovah Elohim among the trees of the garden. And Yehovah Elohim called unto Adam, and said unto him, Where are you? And he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid myself. And he said, Who made you know that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree which I commanded you that you should not eat? And the man said, The woman whom you gave me to be with, she gave me of the tree, and I ate. And Yehovah Elohim said to the woman, What is this you have done? And the woman said, The serpent deceived me, and I ate. And Yehovah Elohim said to the serpent, Because you have done this, you are cursed more than all livestock, and more than every beast of the field. On your belly you are to go, and eat dust all the days of your life. And I put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall crush your head, and you shall crush his heel. To the woman he said, I greatly increase your sorrow and your conception. Bring forth children in pain, and your desire is for your husband, and he does rule over you. And to the man he said, Because you have listened to the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, saying, Do not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. In toil you are to eat of it all the days of your life. And the ground shall bring forth thorns and thistles for you, and you shall eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your face you are to eat bread until you return to the ground. For out of it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you return. And the man called his wife's name Hawa, because she became the mother of all living. And Yahovah Elohim made coats of skin for the man and his wife and dressed them. And Yahovah Elohim said, See, the man has become like one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put out his hand and take also of the tree of life, and eat and live forever. So Yahovah Elohim sent him out of the Garden of Eden to till the ground from which he was taken. And he drove the man out. And he placed cherubim at the east of the Garden of Eden, and a flaming sword which turned every way, to guard the way to the tree of life. Genesis 4. And Adam knew Hawa his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain, and said, I have gained a man from Yahovah. And again she gave birth to his brother Habel, and Habel became a keeper of sheep, but Cain became a tiller of the ground. And it came to be in the course of time that Cain brought an offering of the fruit of the ground to Yahovah. And Habel also brought of the firstborn of his flock and of their fat. And Yahovah looked to Habel and his offering, but he did not look to Cain and his offering. And Cain was very wroth, and his face fell. And Yahovah said to Cain, Why are you wroth, and why is your face fallen? If you do well, is there not acceptance? And if you do not do well, sin is crouching at the door, and its desire is for you, but you should master it. And Cain told Habel his brother, and it came to be, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Habel his brother, and killed him. And Yahovah said to Cain, Where is Habel your brother? And he said, I do not know. Am I my brother's guard? And he said, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. If you till the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength for you. You shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth. And Cain said to Yahovah, My punishment is too great to bear. See, you have driven me from the face of the ground today, and I am hidden from your face. I shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth, and it shall be that anyone who finds me kills me. And Yahovah said to him, Well, if anyone kills Cain, vengeance is taken on him sevenfold. And Yahovah set up a sign for Cain, lest anyone finding him kills him. So Cain went out from the presence of Yahovah and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Hanok. And he built a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son Hanok. And Hanok was born Arad, and Arad brought forth Mahuiel, and Mahuiel brought forth Methuselah, and Methuselah brought forth Lamech. And Lamech took for himself 2 wives. The name of one was Adah, and the name of the second was Selah. And Adah bore Yabel, and he was the father of those who dwelt in tents with livestock. And his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all those who play the lyre and flute. As for Selah, she also bore Tubal-Cain, a smith of all kind of tools in bronze and iron. And the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. And Lamech said to his wives, Adah and Selah, hear my voice. Wives of Lamech, listen to my words. For I have killed a man for wounding me, even a young man for hurting me. For Cain is avenged sevenfold, and Lamech 77-fold. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son, and called his name Sheth. For Elohim has appointed me another seed instead of Habel, because Cain has slain him. And to Sheth, to him also a son was born, and he called his name Enosh. Then it was begun to call on the name of Yahovah. Genesis 5. This is the book of the genealogy of Adam. In the day that Elohim created man, he made him in the likeness of Elohim. Male and female he created them, and he blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and brought forth a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Sheth. After he brought forth Sheth, the days of Adam were 800 years, and he brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Sheth lived 105 years, and brought forth Enosh. And after he brought forth Enosh, Sheth lived 807 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Sheth were 912 years, and he died. And Enosh lived 90 years, and brought forth Canaan. And after he brought forth Canaan, Enosh lived 815 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the years of Enosh were 905 years, and he died. And Canaan lived 70 years, and brought forth Mahalalel. And after he brought forth Mahalalel, Canaan lived 840 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. And Mahalalel lived 65 years, and brought forth Yared. And after he brought forth Yared, Mahalalel lived 830 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. And Yared lived 162 years, and brought forth Hanok. And after he brought forth Hanok, Yared lived 800 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the years of Yared were 962 years, and he died. And Hanok lived 65 years, and brought forth Methuselah. And after he brought forth Methuselah, Hanok walked with Elohim 300 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Hanok were 365 years. And Hanok walked with Elohim. Then he was no more, for Elohim took him. And Methuselah lived 187 years, and brought forth Lamech. And after he brought forth Lamech, Methuselah lived 782 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. And Lamech lived 182 years, and brought forth a son. And he called his name Noah, saying, This one does comfort us concerning our work and the toil of our hands, because of the ground which Yahovah has cursed. And after he brought forth Noah, Lamech lived 595 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old. And Noah brought forth Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Genesis 6 through verse 8. And it came to be, when men began to increase on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, that they were good, and they took wives for themselves of all whom they choose. And Yahovah said, My spirit shall not strive with man forever in his going astray. He is flesh, and his days shall be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward. when the sons of Elohim came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. Those were the mighty men who were of old, the men of name. And Jehovah saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continuously. And Jehovah was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and he was grieved in his heart. And Jehovah said, I am going to wipe off man, who I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, creeping creature and birds of the heavens, for I am sorry that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of Jehovah. Isaiah 42:5 through 43:10. Thus said the El, Jehovah, who created the heavens and stretched them out, who spread forth the earth, and said that which comes from it, who gives breath to the people on it, and spirit to those who walk on it. I, Jehovah, have called you in righteousness, and I take hold of your hand and guard you, and give you for a covenant to a people, for a light to the Gentiles, to open blind eyes, to bring out prisoners from the prison, those who sit in darkness from the prison house. I am Jehovah, that is my name, and my esteem I do not give to another, nor my praise to idols. See, the former predictions have come, and new ones I am declaring. Before they spring forth, I let you hear them. Sing to Jehovah a new song, his praise from the ends of the earth, you who go down to the sea and all that is in it, you coastlands and you inhabitants of them. Let the wilderness and its cities lift up their voice, the villages where Kedar dwells. Let the inhabitants of Selah sing. Let them shout from the top of the mountains. Let them give esteem to Jehovah and declare his praise in the coastlands. Jehovah goes forth like a mighty man. He stirs up ardor like a fighter. He cries out, yea, shout aloud. Over his enemies he shows himself mighty. I have kept silent from of old. I have been still and held myself back. Like a woman in labor, I now cry out. I pant and gasp at once. I lay waste mountains and hills. I dry up all their plants. And I shall make rivers become coastlands, and I dry up pools. And I shall lead the blind by a way they have not known. In paths they have not known I lead them. I make darkness light before them, and crooked places straight. These matters I shall do for them, and I shall not forsake them. Those who trust in idols, who say to the molded images, you are our mighty ones, shall be turned back, utterly ashamed. Hear, you deaf, and look, you blind, and see. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger whom I sent? Who is blind as he who is at peace, and blind as servant as Jehovah? You see much, but do not observe. Ears are open, but do not hear. It has delighted Jehovah, for the sake of his righteousness, to make the Torah great and esteemed. But this is a people robbed and plundered. All of them are snared in holes, and they are hidden in prison houses. They have become a prey with no one to deliver, for plunder and no one to say, restore. Who among you gives ear to this, pays attention, and hears for the time to come? Who gave Jacob to plunder, and Israel to the robbers? Was it not Jehovah, he against whom we sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, and they did not obey his Torah. So he has poured on him his burning displeasure, and the strength of battle, and it set him on fire all around. Yet he did not understand, and it burned against him, yet he did not take it to heart. Isaiah 43 through verse 10. But now Thus said Jehovah, your Creator, O Jacob, and He who formed you, O Israel. Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by your name, and you are mine. When you pass through the waters, I am with you, and through rivers, they do not overthrow you. When you walk through fire, you are not scorched, and a flame does not burn you. For I am Jehovah, your Elohim, the set-apart one of Israel, your Savior. I gave Mitzrayim for your ransom, Cush and Seba in your place. Since you were precious in my eyes, you have been esteemed, and I have loved you. And I gave men in your place, and peoples for your life. Do not fear, for I am with you. I shall bring your seed from the east, and gather you from the west. I shall say to the north, give them up, and to the south, do not keep them back. Bring my sons from afar, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. And all those who are called by my name, whom I have created, formed, even made for my esteem. He shall bring out a blind people who have eyes, and deaf ones who have ears. All the nations shall be assembled, and the peoples be gathered. Who among them declares this, and show us former events? Let them give their witnesses, to be declared right, or let them hear and say, it is true. You are my witnesses, declares Jehovah, and my servant, whom I have chosen, so that you know and believe me, and understand that I am He. Before me there was no El formed, nor after me there is none. From the Gospels, the book of John 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim, and the Word was Elohim. He was in the beginning with Elohim. All came to be through Him, and without Him not even one word to be that came to be. In Him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not yet overcome it. There was a man sent from Elohim, whose name was Yohanan. This one came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all might believe through him. He was not that light, but that he might bear witness of that light. He was the true light, which enlightens every man coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world came to be through him, and the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to him he gave the authority to become children of Elohim, to those believing in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the desire of flesh, nor of the desire of man, but of Elohim. And the Word became flesh, and pitched his tent among us. And we saw his esteem as of an only brought forth of a Father, complete in favor and truth. Yohanan bore witness of him, and cried out, saying, This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me has become before me, because he was before me. And out of his completeness we all did receive, and favor upon favor. For the Torah was given through Moshe, the favor and the truth came through Yeshua Messiah.